fun all the time, we love it.
Good GB plays Saturday night. Ooh, I think there's hockey and basketball.
Their grandson plays hockey, then they moved to Kansas and there's no hockey in Kansas.
Seriously?
Yeah, well, they're in Manhattan, you have to go to Wichita to, it's like 2 hours away to see a hockey game, so.
Which for hockey, you already have to travel so much.
It's expensive too.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
Alright, now whenever you're ready.
Alright, it's Tuesday, February 10th, 5 p.m. This is a finance committee meeting. This will be an open meeting and notice has been given to the public at least 24 hours prior to the meetings by forwarding the complete agenda to the Oconto County Reporter and all other news media who have requested the same, as well as by posting. Copies of the complete agenda were available for inspection at the office of the city administrator. Roll call, please.
Gerald Anderson,
Here.
Kim Barnakowski is excused, Ron Dahl,
Here.
Dee Dunlevy,
Here.
Pablo Breck,
Here.
Mayor Cliff Martin is excused, Casey Saul,
Here.
Lori Stenstrup is excused, Dan Zeller.
Here. Go to 3, need approval of the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
By Ron, second by Casey, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 4, approval of the minutes from 1/13/2026. Anybody find anything?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes as stated.
Motion by Dee. Second. Second by Daryl. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public input, is there any public input?
Always. Is there any public?
Okay, we'll go right to correspondence. Do you have anything? Nothing for correspondence. Discussion recommendation on old unfinished business. A, questions from December 2025 accounts payable. There was none. Anybody? Okay. We don't need that.
No, no.
Because there was nothing. 8, discussion recommendation on new business. A, review accounts payable for the month of January 2026 in the amount of $2,384,035.48. Payroll for the month of January 2026 in the amount of $188,720.51. In other financial reports as presented. Questions on the reports or accounts payable? Go ahead, Casey.
On page 3, I was looking at the Ace Hardware restitution from Mark Hart for $228. Judgments and damages.
Yep, sometimes when they issue citations, if it was for stealing, that would be restitution. They
Okay.
pay us in the citation and then we, reimburse the business that was stolen from.
We had that case in municipal court.
So it was, so it's a wash.
Yeah. Yep.
Bob?
Actually, there's, 2 of them. There's, page 6 on the first one. It's about the CDL license, and then also there's one on the second part. The CDL on page 4, but they're both the same. Don't we go through NWTC? Is this guy,
They come here.
is Steve Della, is he just an independent that does this?
I believe we used to go to NWTC and they had to do classes, but now the guy comes here and does class.
So it'd be the same amount, man, that's what I'm getting at, if it's in a private individual, or do we go through NWTC?
From what I
Casey,
understand,
this was your department, right?
yeah, from what I understood in the Parks and Rec meeting, the old way was pretty much just a written test, and down the road you went, and now there's, driving and just more involved in getting the CDL, and that's where the additional expense comes from, and also, he comes here and all that jazz.
Go ahead, Bob.
on page 10 on the first half, and also on the second half, there's, page 17, about joining the Chamber of Commerce. The city of Ocono pays 150, but the library only pays 50. Is there a group rate or something?
It's based on how many employees you have.
Huh?
It's based on how many employees you have.
Really?
Mhm.
Does anybody from the city actually go to these?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I'm just checking, I mean, 150 to, I mean, if you're really gonna count employees to make, there is no set fee then, you're telling me, for the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, in my opinion, $150 a year is definitely worth supporting.
Well, I understand it's worth it, I just wanna know if anybody's
Yeah.
going and why there's
Yeah.
like a $50 for the library and 150
Yeah,
for the city.
yeah, they have,
Is there a set rate?
nope, they have like a scale for the rate.
That's a good question. Why is the library paying? The airport doesn't pay anymore, we're covered under the city.
Yeah. They should be, but maybe,
Are you in a chamber at the airport?
Could it be that the,
I know they,
But we used to pay,
could be. We used to pay for each one,
Mhm.
airport, library, city. And then 2 years ago or 3 years ago, they said, nope, the city just needs to pay one fee. I don't know.
covers all the, so the
Yeah,
airport
I
hasn't
thought-
paid the last few years.
I'll have to check into that though, because they ended up charging them more last year, and they really should, they dropped it down to $50 this year, because they're a nonprofit.
Hmm.
So, but, like I said, I don't know what the rules were back in the day when you kinda did that. And also, Bob, to your point, as far as going to the chamber meetings, I'm usually there, and I know Jeremy has attended many of those as well.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, because
So,
it just seems like when you join something, it's a set rate. I mean, if you,
Yeah,
if you,
I mean, it
you're
is.
joining a chamber and you own an industrial complex out there and it goes by employees, how much do you pay for your?
Well, there is a cap. There's a cap
I would
to the
hope so.
rate. You
Yeah.
can't.
But like,
I mean,
I think like a Laterno Plastics pays more than, the Good Place Bowling Alley.
right?
yeah,
There is several categories.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. I think 150 is probably the highest,
I honestly don't know.
I think it is,
is it?
I think it is.
Like 50, 100, and
Yeah.
150? Maybe there's
Yeah,
like
you
three
can do a single,
categories?
cause we've got a couple single people that wanted to join, even though they're not associated with any core group or whatever. So I think that's like $25, nonprofits I think are 50, and then it kinda goes up on the scale.
Okay, yeah.
So we still gotta check into the library end of it then, eh?
Yeah, we can look into that. We'll ask Sammy about it for next year.
anybody else?
Keep going.
Go ahead.
no, I'm just, have we had any problems with Brightspeed?
Infinite
Oh,
problems.
because some people that have it, they're telling me about these nightmares, and I said,
They're
well,
horrible.
we have it at the city hall, so.
Yeah, no, they're horrible. We have so many problems with them.
So
It's
are we
really been
locking
bad
a
for us.
long-term contract with them?
6 months.
We're in a 3-year contract. We just finished our first year. But we're still having, the internet goes out quite a bit. But the phone part, the phones work great. We love the phones, but the billing, we're still waiting on 5 phones to come in that we never got. We have 2 extra phones, cause they're a different kind of phone. 2 extra phones that they won't take back, and they keep charging us for it that we didn't order. So our bill every single month, I have to adjust it because it's always wrong. They're sending us tax. It shows that we have like a $10,000 past due balance, which we obviously don't. But, and I've called them many, many times, stayed on hold all day long, and they just will not do anything. So a couple weeks ago, there's like Spectrum Charter, and then there's Spectrum VoIP. They're apparently not related at all. Not sure why they're called that then. But I had a Zoom meeting with them. Spectrum VoIP is a family-owned company, and all they do is phones for businesses. And they're working on getting me a quote. They said that they guarantee it's gonna be cheaper than Brightspeed, and they can buy us out of our contract, so I'm working on that.
Oh, I was just wondering if there was any way we could get out of that contract.
Yeah.
Especially if they're not living up to their end of the contract.
Yeah,
Is
they're
there some
horrible.
stipulations that we,
Yeah, depending on what the buyout looks like, cause I guess it can get really, really expensive. So depending what the buyout looks like and what Spectrum VoIP can cover, we might have to go a different route, a legal route that listen, we can't even pay our bills correctly, like, it's been a year of this, so it
We've
might
been-
be a hard battle, but.
We've been
we're
talking
gonna-
about this for,
Yeah, we're gonna try
Well,
to
I
get
was just
out of it.
wondering, cause I heard some other people saying they were not happy, and thought,
They're
well, I better
horrible.
ask her, and we'll see.
Yeah, they're awful.
Good, cause then I was thinking about going, no.
Yeah, don't. Don't.
That's all I got.
Thanks,
Casey.
Mayor.
Well, I got one more, but I don't think I wanna do that one yet.
Go ahead,
Uh,
Casey.
On page 12, of the second part with the Badger Laboratories, with samples, D1, D6, EP5 samples, what are those?
The second part? I don't see.
oh,
where-
this,
Utilities have to do samples and send them to us.
On page 12. Is that water?
probably
Yep,
water.
that's utility. I can't tell you exactly what those samples are. For different things, they have to do water samples. Some are monthly, some are quarterly, and some are annually. So I can't tell you exactly what the water samples are, but it's something that the state requires them to do.
Thank you.
We used to run our own lab there, but then we've gone away from that and send everything out for testing now.
That's $1,900.
It's very expensive.
Do they still have some of the laboratory down there?
They still
There may be a few things.
they do a little of their testing, but not.
Yeah. I think the major stuff they sold.
Mm-hmm.
2017, yeah, or 2018, I think.
Dee?
On page 19, I'm looking at just a quick question, police Adobe subscription. Normally those are like under $30, I'm just wondering why that one was so expensive for $119,
They pay just the annual fee,
okay?
but she
Instead of
said now
monthly?
that Kristen is back from maternity leave, they're gonna cancel it. They just needed it for redacting purposes while
Okay.
Kristen was gone, but now that she's back, they did cancel it this year.
Okay.
And actually, you can see the first transaction under that check is a negative $20.16. That's a reimbursement for canceling.
Okay.
I would make a motion, on the review of accounts payable for the month of January 2026, and payroll for January 2026, and other financial reports as presented, to approve.
Do we have a second? I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, go to B, revenue and expenditures guidelines from 2025 and 2026.
So this is pretty much the final 2025, although I did see one thing that I need to do with the dog licenses, but, this is pretty much the final. So you can see that the general fund is $242,000, in the black. So in 2024, our fund balance was $1,284,919. Add that 242 at the end of 2025, our general fund balance will be about 1.5 million. Crime prevention fund, the fund balance for 2025 will be about 13,000, so that one's growing. And that's Shop with Cop. Airport, you can see they plan to use some of their fund balance, so their fund balance is gonna go down. At the end of 2025, it'll go from 211,000 to 199,000. Recycling is slowly moving out of their deficit. They had a $8,000 surplus. In 2024, it was a 46,691 deficit. The end of 2025, it will be a little over a 38,000 deficit. Library also had a little bit of a deficit this year, almost $9,000. So it will take their fund balance, in 2024 from 89,900, down to 80,900. Campground, again, they planned to use some of their fund balance, so you can see it's a negative 69,000 there, which was planned to do the roads in there. At the end of 2024, their fund balance was 108,000, so that'll take that down to 39,000. Breakwater and Harbor, they had a $27,000 surplus in 2025. So it'll take their fund balance up to 148,000, which they do have some projects they're gonna be doing in 2026, so they will use some of that fund balance up. Police K-9 in 2024 was in a, their fund balance was in a deficit of 1,910. You can see they had a surplus in 2025 of almost 2,600. So it will take their fund balance up to $685. Debt service had a deficit in 2025, which we planned to do when we did the budget. There is a fund balance there, it's around 50,000. Capital projects, I still have to look at that a little bit closer. It looks like it's a very large deficit, but sometimes when there's long-term grants that goes past a year, they get put into like a liability account that you won't see on any of these reports. And then we do an adjustment to put them into a revenue account so that deficit won't be so big. I think we still will have a deficit in that account, but not quite as aggressive as 204,000. And then our fleet also in a deficit, 29,000, which has to do with getting our vehicles too quick. We got them way earlier than planned, so we had more monthly payments than we planned to have. So that puts us in a deficit there. And then 2026 is just January, so not too much to talk about there, nothing too much has happened. But does anyone have any questions on either of those two reports?
Okay, we'll go to 9. Committee may vote at approximately 5:17. Convene into closed session pursuant to notice duly given and allowed by Wisconsin Stats 19.85, paragraph 1, paragraph E, for deliberating, competitive, or bargaining reasons for the following items. Request for TID number 6, developers agreement for Hermits. We have a motion to go into closed session. Motion by
I'll
Dale,
second.
second by Dee, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Strange.
Reacting or something.
Thought you
Like the
left.
cleaning gal, we were in there.
Grabbed it in the dark.
Yeah, with the door shut, she maybe would have to
Yeah.
run.
Do we need a motion to move this to council?
Just did. Now we'll go to 11, action discussion on matters from closed session.
Motion to approve the offer for the development agreement? Is that what you're saying, Casey?
You want, yeah, I'll second.
Do we just do that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Do you want a roll call or do you want just,
No, you can do all.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 12, next meeting agenda items. Anybody have something they would like brought?
Yeah, me.
We'll have this definitely back on it, and then our usual. Kim said 5 never works for her, so she needs them always at 5:30, so they will always be at 5:30, so Kim can make it.
So if this were to, pass council, whatever, what's the timeline to breaking earth?
I think they've got a closing date set for May 1st, May 1st-ish.
So we got no time.
That's not to say if these contingencies, the development agreement, the zoning will be coming up
If everything goes our way.
in March. Not that they can't move a closing up, I mean, but, yeah.
Okay, we'll go to 13, adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Oh, I'm currently.
I think every time I say the opening.